Jim Norton Show starts now.
Good morning / afternoon, depending on when you're listening to this, or it could be evening. The Jim Norton Show going strong on a Wednesday. We always start off with an email just to get the phone lines ringing, which they're ringing already. But I have a very important question here from a very short email from Aliva. And she writes, I have this weird lump between my neck and shoulder. For the longest time, it hasn't hurt, moved, or done anything. Lately, it's starting to feel tender. Do I ignore it longer or get it hacked off? And then she writes, thank you, Dr. Steve. So basically, you have a tender lump. And honestly, I think you should just leave it there. Hopefully it'll get really big, and then you could just be very funny at parties, pointing out your lump, and people will do jokes about it. Or, I kind of think lumps are overrated, and they never turn out to be anything bad. It's like I was dating a girl, and she found lumps in both of her breasts, and, and all of a sudden she's bugging me, you need to go to the doctor. Can I borrow some money? And I'm like, no. It's like God wants you to have lumps, so just have lumps, for Pete's sake. Be beautiful with who you are. And, I think lump is a great word. That's a great insult to call somebody. You fucking lump. Shut up, you lump. It's never good to be called a lump. What do you think of him? He's a lump. So that's what I would suggest. Just leave it there. I'm sure it'll go away in time. If it's getting tender or sore, that probably means it's getting ready to go away. So I would just leave that old lump. It ain't going to hurt you. All right, who do we got on the phones? Iraq.
Hey, Jim. Eric wants to talk to you about sex addiction.
Oh, that's Eric. That's you. Iraq is addicted to sex.
Different Eric.
A different Eric. Okay. Yes, Eric. How are you?
Jimmy, first let me say I think you're brilliant, man. I've been listening to years, and it's hilarious. You're brilliant.
Oh, thank you,
my friend.
You're very nice.
Hey, listen, I was calling about sex addiction. I think, like you, obviously, I've got an addictive personality. While I didn't have alcohol abuse, my family has. I found my addiction is in porn, and it's affected. I'm 24 hours. I shouldn't say 24 hours, but I spend all my time on porn, and like you, I do the whole edging thing. I found I spend money on prostitutes. Whether it affected I went through a divorce. It affects my job, just everything. And I wondered on your end. From somebody that seems so down to earth with regards to his addiction, how come it's something you haven't addressed? I know I need to because, like I said, it's just affected everything with me. And I don't have any restraint. I know I shouldn't be doing it. When I first started with the prostitutes back in the day, it was, just a little bit, let me jerk off. Then it worked a little more and a little more. And you keep mentioning every now and then on the show, that need to do a little bit more. And I wondered on your end, how come you've not done anything with it? And then what could you or I do?
Well, I would suggest, it's funny. What it's like, especially with porn, in my lifetime, I used to go to this hotel, and they would get a Wii, a Playboy, and a Penthouse, and I took a screwdriver, and I would jimmy the magazines out at the beginning of the month. I would go and steal pornography. And then again, eventually we got a VCR, and I would rent pornos, or I would go to my friend's house and watch a porno. But it was few and far between. And then as time goes on, technology gives you more and more ways to do it. So now you can act out literally while you're in the car on your way to work by just looking at your phone. You can get porn on your phone. You can dirty text. There's so many ways to get it. So the need to keep it going gets more and more intense, and it's like a dopamine drip. Or a morphine drip. Just jerking off and edging and not coming is just your way of staying high and zoned out. And I actually have started addressing it recently, to answer your question. And I'm kind of in a withdrawal phase now, and it's really hard. But the reason I haven't is because sex is a very hard one. It still feels really good. Part of me still likes the addiction. And knowledge is no defense. Because I know something is bad, it's nice to know it, but I have to be ready to give it up. You have to hit bottom with it. Just knowing it's bad is not enough.
And that's why I wondered what is, with sex addiction, it's different than, and again, I guess spending my money and all that kind of shit where you sit there and go, hey, when's bottom? I don't have your kind of income, my friend, but, when is bottom, and then what kind of help? I've gone to my therapist in the past, and went around and I told them, it always kind of got back into my mental state and all that stuff. But I wonder on your end, how is it that you've begun? Is there, obviously there's, I guess, sex addiction.
Well, there are, to answer your question, there's 12-step programs you can look up. Therapy is one way, 12-step programs. There are plenty of ways to get help for it if you want it. Especially, again, the same thing that helps you jerk off 24 hours a day is the same thing that helps you find help for it. It's Google and the computer. So if you want to find help for it, there are 12-step programs and meetings you can go to. But thank you for the call, man, and good luck, brother. Take care. Good luck.
And I appreciate.
Oh, sorry to cut you off. That was you. Thank you for the call. Brother, who's next, brother?
We're going to talk to Elizabeth in the Midwest.
Ooh.
She has a Twitter addiction.
Oh, hello, Elizabeth.
Yes.
I kind of understand that. Checking the Twitter. So you're on Twitter. Is your addiction checking your own @mentions or other people's, or what is it?
Well, I'm just on there all the time. I can't control myself. This is really getting out of hand.
What is it that you like about it? What does it do for you?
I don't know. That's what I need to find out, I guess.
Well, do you Twitter a lot, or are you always commenting? Are you always...
Well, I really don't have anything witty or profound to say. I just need to be there.
Well, what I'm saying is, are you commenting at all or just reading what other people say?
I do comment and I retweet and, I do the star thing. And I recently found out about that, star effing deal. And that made me terribly uncomfortable because now I can't star anything without feeling all weird about it.
What's that mean, star and everything? Star?
Huh?
What do you mean starring everything?
That star effing thing,
Star fucking? I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, oh, God, that's it. I wasn't going to say it, but yeah, star fucking. I don't like it.
Well, then what obviously you just like to have the dialogue and you like to communicate with a bunch of people.
Yes, I do.
Well, that's what it is. Do you have a lot of friends?
Well, yeah, but, they bore me compared to these people on Twitter.
Yeah, you just got to get kind of caught out there in the, as they say, the cyber world. It's a hard one to get out of because it's a very recent thing that we've had access to. Like, how often have we had this? For how long have we had this ability? Like, I always hate when people go, I hate when people are always looking at their cell phones. It's like, on your cell phone, now with a smartphone, you have access to everything. And rarely are you talking to somebody who is as interesting as everything else combined. So no matter what we're talking about, I can look up anything else on the phone. And it's hard to not do that.
I don't have that kind of phone, though. I have to sit in front of a laptop.
Oh, well, okay, whatever. The laptop is the same thing as the phone. I was just using the phone as an example.
Oh, I understand.
Computer's the same thing, obviously. It's the internet.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know, try to give yourself a little time away from it. I don't know what to tell you, because...
it's very difficult to stay away from it.
Yes, it is. So, maybe do other things. Maybe, I would suggest masturbating with a cucumber is a healthy way.
No, I can't do that. Look, I'm a retired crack whore. I don't want to go back to all that.
Oh, you used to do... Oh, okay, so you used to do a lot of drugs. Are you sober?
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay, so then you switched addictions, that's all. You should have said that at the beginning. That's all. You switched addictions.
I wasn't on the stuff. Well, all right. I'm all right. Never mind. I'm fine now. I'm born again. I'm fine.
Oh, cool. Well, you must be fun to follow on Twitter. All right. Well, it was nice talking to you. Good luck to you. I would just suggest, find other activities. What am I going to tell you?
Okay.
Bye. Rub your clit with the shoe from Monopoly set. All right.
This is John in Alabama. He saw Django Unchained and got into an altercation with a youth.
Oh, okay.
John.
Hi, John.
Hey, Jim. How are you, buddy?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Good to talk to you.
Thank
Big
you.
fan. I have a question on what crime-fighting Jimmy Norton would have done in my situation. On Christmas Day, opening day for Django, I go with my nephew. I'm 40. He's 27. We're both pretty big guys, and we go to the movie theater, and we're waiting on a friend of his to show up who's just a few minutes late. All of a sudden, this youth comes in with his girl, and he starts getting pissed off because there's an empty seat beside him. My nephew and I are sitting side by side. So when he starts raising hell and fussing, I tell my nephew to sit in my seat, and then I go sit on the other end, which means there's an empty seat between us because I knew he was about to try to get our seats. So he sits down in an empty seat beside me and starts really harassing me, telling me things like, we don't own the theater, we have no right to save a seat, starts touching me on the face, and I told him, don't you ever fucking touch me again.
Right.
And then whenever he touches me again, I go to stand up, and about maybe 5 people or so behind us, grab me when I go to get up. Anyway, the whole time I'm sitting there, they don't say anything to this guy while he's harassing me because they are the same race as this youth.
Okay, so you're a white guy in the theater. A black kid is saying something to you, talking shit, and of course a bunch of black people don't tell him to be quiet because you're a white guy.
Exactly, and they don't say anything at all until I go to stand up. But the whole time I'm sitting there...
Well, let me ask you a question. How old were they? Because they might have been scared of him, too. Older black people are scared of young black guys that could be armed, too.
It looked to me, of course, I'm just assuming, it looked to me like it was an older black couple with their 2 sons and maybe a girl that was either with them or just sitting beside them. But I felt the 3 male hands were the 3 sets of male hands were the ones that grabbed me. I could tell.
Do you think that this kid would have got his ass kicked, or you guys were he was going to kick your ass?
No, it wasn't going to happen because after all of the bullshit that's going on in theaters lately, I had a loaded firearm in my pocket. I'm licensed to carry, so
okay.
It wasn't and I wasn't about to shoot him.
Of course.
If he had tried to attack me, I would have pulled it, but I would have just left. But I don't want Quentin Tarantino reading about that online.
Right.
Some shit like that happened in the theater.
So the people grabbed you. They weren't menacing you. They were just trying to break it up?
Yeah, but my only point was they didn't say anything the whole time. This guy sat down and harassed me for a solid 5 minutes, which doesn't seem like a long time unless you've got somebody in your ear saying, "Oh, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up."
And where was his girlfriend sitting?
She was standing up right close to the entrance. It's one of those cinemas where there's an entrance on each side, and
right.
We were over on the left side, right near where the little wall terminates where you turn in.
I don't know what I would have done. It would depend on the energy I was getting from this guy, if I thought he might be a drunk or a real it's hard to say what I would do because, again, this is how people get shot. Like, this dumb motherfucker didn't know that he was talking shit to a guy with a pistol in his pocket. And let's just say you had stood up and no one had stopped you, and that kid pulled out a knife, he would have gotten himself shot. Like, I don't know what I would have done because I understand this is 1 goes to 2 goes to 3. And maybe those people stopping you is because they saw this was now about to escalate. Maybe you standing up was the sign of them escalating. And they sometimes black people understand black people better than white people do. And they may have seen this guy and know he's just talking shit. He's not going to do a fucking thing. This guy's trying to impress his chick. He's not going to do a fucking thing physically. But when you stood up, they understood this was about to get really bad. I mean, I don't know. I could be totally wrong, too.
And it was my problem for not describing it earlier. I tried to even reason with the guy when he first sat down. I said, look, I would be mad if I showed up with my girl and we couldn't sit together because all the seats are taken. But I said, but my party is not responsible for that. And the last thing he wanted to listen to was logic.
Did you say somebody is here with me and they're just in the bathroom?
That's what I told him. The guy wasn't in the bathroom yet.
No, I know, but you don't say that. You say the guy's in the bathroom.
That's exactly what I said. I said, yeah, he's with us, but he's in the bathroom. And I'll try to wrap it up really quick.
Okay.
It takes so long. He goes and gets the usher, and luckily during that time, our friend does show up, and he sits in the seat. So he comes back, but we still got a bag of popcorn sitting there. As he walks by, he just grabs the bag of popcorn and throws it right across the middle of the floor in the theater in front of everybody. So I got my revenge. I got to yell out right in front of his girl that guy is just a piece of shit, and everybody in the theater laughed. So I felt better, but it still pissed me off and really took me out of the movie, so I had to go see it again, but it was great.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you could have just watched it, and every time certain words were dropped, you should have just went, ha, ha, ha. All right, man. Well, hey, look, you didn't have to shoot anybody. He didn't get shot, so it worked out okay. That's how all altercations should end, with some punk cocksucker throwing your popcorn and him and his dumb chick being thrown out.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Love the show, Jim.
Thanks, buddy. Be good.
Let's go to...
You should have went to see the Billy Crystal movie. That's what you should have done. Not a lot of violence there. Go on, E-Rock. Who's next?
Let's talk to Dave in Ohio.
All right.
Hi, Dave.
Davey!
Hey.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going, Jim?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Pretty good. See, I have a little bit issues. I have a best friend of mine is dating my cousin, and she's been dating him for about 5 years now. And about 3 years ago, I hooked up with her a couple of times.
Your cousin? Is she a first cousin or distant?
No. With
Okay.
my cousin's girlfriend.
Oh, I'm sorry, your cousin's girlfriend. You hooked up with her while they were dating?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was a few years ago, but we never talk about it or anything. And I recently she's having troubles with him and dating him and everything. And I don't know if she's giving off like the vibe that she wants to date me or not, and I don't know if my attraction to her is like me wanting these negative things, because I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit of a piece of shit.
Well, wait, hold on. Are you and your cousin close?
I mean, we used to be. We grew up really close. That's how I met her. I mean,
So basically, did you like the high of just fucking his girlfriend? You like the high of doing something that taboo?
I don't know. That might be it.
Of course.
I mean, I'm a little. I like girls that are a little messed up sometimes. I'm not. For my age, I have a long list of things I like, and as opposed to more just vanilla stuff.
Well, I think here's my advice, brother. Leave it alone. First of all, it's a shitty thing to do, and it's easy for me to go, oh, it's shitty, but it really is shitty. She's obviously a cunt if she's fooling around with her boyfriend's cousin. Like, that's dirty, and you shouldn't be doing it. If you hooked up one time, I think that you should just go, all right, we fucked up, and leave it alone. You don't want to start a thing with your cousin's girlfriend. That's just shitty.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm still friends with her, and I haven't made any advances in years with her or nothing. I'm just trying to keep it friendly, but I don't know if that's what she's going after or what. Well,
the fact that you're still friends with her, you like the fact that there's a push and pull between you. You like the secret that you two have when he's in the room. I bet you he gets up to go to the bathroom once in a while, and you two will look at each other real quick, or you'll say certain things, and she'll look at you a certain way. There's a whole underlying thing that happens with you two while he's there that he doesn't even know about.
Yeah.
And I understand that high, but it's kind of a dirty thing to do. You know, you're going to do what you're going to do. I'm not going to be able to convince you either way. But that would be my advice, would be to leave it alone because it's kind of shitty.
All right. Thank you, Jim.
Sure. You're welcome, buddy. I mean, a lot of things are shitty. I mean, I'm an oral sex fanatic, and sometimes that's shitty for obvious reasons, and women feel the same way. There's this thing called mask, and it's mask sexual flavors, and it's basically the new way to foreplay. It's a revolutionary intimacy enhancement product, which has been designed to help couples enrich their sex life and their relationship. Because a lot of times girls don't want to go down on you. You know how it is. And it's not because they hate you. It's because, let's be honest, the flavor is not good. These flavored gel strips, they dissolve on a girl's tongue, and they block the tastes that are sometimes associated with performing oral treats on a gentleman and his subsequent climax. They mask the taste of cum, which I imagine is awful. It drastically improves the experience for both partners because now you can get blown without looking down at her face where she's going, and she can do it without wondering, when is he going to fill my mouth with this horrible bleachy poison? This has been featured on the pages of major women's magazines. The product was developed through years of research and testing, and it's 100% safe and effective. You visit sexualflavors.com to learn more. Read up on the customer reviews, and of course, if you're going to purchase individual strips in 3-packs, you can do so there. It's available in strawberry, watermelon, chocolate, mango. That's sexualflavors.com. Mask sexual flavors, the spark to reignite your bedroom flame. Because, let's be honest, strawberry, watermelon, mango, chocolate, lima bean would be a better flavor than cum. There's a lot of flavors better than cum. All of those and many more that Mask has not even come up with yet. I'm sure they'll have new flavors someday. But 4 good ones for now. Who's next, E-Rock?
Let's go to Lewis in New York.
By the way, if you come home and your girlfriend has chocolate or mango breath, now you know what she was doing. I was eating strawberries. Whore! Who's next?
This is Lewis in New York.
All right. Hello, Lewis.
Hey, what's up, you ugly fucking asshole?
Come on, he's just answering the phone. Hi, Lewis.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, buddy.
I just saw that. I didn't know you had a show after Opie and Anthony's show.
Yeah, it's only about 3 weeks in. We're really tearing up the airwaves. We're talking about terrestrial syndication. The whole thing is crazy. So what's up, buddy?
The thing that's funny is that I saw it on my radio, and I saw the number comes up on my radio to call, and I thought, I'll try to call to see if I can get through to Jim, to see if I can get through, and it goes right away. It's like I'm calling you on your home phone number.
That's the beauty of it. And the phone lines are pretty lit, too, but we have dedicated lines just for people like yourself.
Just for people like, yeah, but I didn't call a hotline. I just called the same number.
I know, sir. What is your question? You're rambling.
I'm your friend. I'm Louie. I'm your friend. Do you not recognize
This
me?
is Louis C.K.? Oh, I had no idea. I thought you were just some dickhead named Louis. Oh, hey, buddy, I didn't know that was you.
No, it's okay. I'm as boring as one of your callers. That's why.
No, but you were insulting me, and I assume that is exactly what somebody would do calling in. They would just fucking trivialize what I'm doing, and it would be accurate. So, yeah, the shows are really, they say it's a breakaway hit, but I don't know, Louie. I'm just repeating what they say. So what's up, man? How are you?
Yeah, no, it's funny because I could call you on this line and say really personal shit to you and have no worries that anybody's that's gonna get out.
No, it really won't. Even during the replay. What's that?
I'm just teasing you now,
Louie. That's what we do. We give each other the business. Sometimes on Facebook.
Yes, and sometimes you pull my leg, like I feel like my leg's being pulled by you.
Once in a while, I'll say something to Lou, and he'll go, "Hey, what the hey?" And I'll go, "Come on, Lou, I'm just joshing." And we both like, "Oh, all right, it's all good-natured fun." I didn't even know it was you on Facebook. Louis Facebook requested me, and I'm like, I didn't realize that it was actually you.
Yeah, I didn't have a Facebook page for a long time, and then I reactivated it, and I don't think I'm going to keep it, though. I have no reason to have it there.
You don't think it's a good way just to keep in touch with high school friends and chums that you haven't seen in a while?
Yeah, that's like saying it's a good way to kill yourself. I mean, I have no need to do that. I don't want to know any of those people anymore.
Were you an outcast in high school, or were you a guy who was like loved in class clown, or were you kind of an ostracized guy?
I had a handful of friends, but it was a huge high school. Like, you really had to be, you had to really stink to not have a couple of friends in my high school.
Okay, so basically it was the odds are that, unless you're a complete zilch, you're going to have somebody who likes you just because of the numbers.
Yeah, somebody will try you out at least for a few months, and then they're not friends with you, and then you see them in the hall, and then you kind of wave like a girl you fucked once.
Yeah, we used to be friends, but we're not talking anymore for no reason other than we're both just not interested type of wave. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's so sad.
So are you now? Do you not want to see them because you're annoyed at them, or do you just have no interest because they didn't interest you then?
I'm just being vaguely negative. I don't know. I guess for me, it's like it's an all or none thing. Like, there are a few people from high school that I'd like to be in touch with, and then there's a whole bunch that I really don't want to be in touch with, just because 90% of anybody is awful.
Do you find they enhance what your relationship was like in school because of who you are and where you are now? Like, dude, you remember me? We used to. And you're like, no, I said hello to you twice.
Yes, I've had a few people who've been like, oh, man, those were amazing times. I'm like, well, the imaginary ones were.
Yeah, I didn't share any amazing times with you. I'll usually just kind of wish AIDS on them, and then, I think that's the best way to handle it. You just wish AIDS on them, and you give them a wink like I was just kidding, even though you weren't.
Well, it's funny, Jim Norton, is that it's not even like some of the popular kids from high school that wouldn't have talked to me have pretended we had fun times. Like, you'd think it would be like the kids who had no friends, but they're all doing fine now.
Well, the popular kids, a lot of times, I think, peaked in high school. Like, when you see those guys who are 40 and still wearing their varsity jacket and still telling those dumb stories, it's like, that was the high for you. And we're guys like yourself and me, we didn't peak until we were fucking 35 and begin not becoming zeros.
Isn't this better, though? Isn't it way better to peak later in life than in those years, which I've kind of forgotten high school. I don't remember a lot of it.
Yeah, most of my fond memories are not centered around high school at all. And yeah, you're right. It's much better to peak now when you know what to do with it. I mean, back then you banged one or two chicks, but now it's like it's so much greater to go out and fuck girls that are still high school age. And here I am, 44, and fucking 20-year-olds.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if it's a 20-year-old, it's a really dumb girl in high school.
I know. Well, let's be honest. I padded that a few years. I padded 5 years onto that just so I don't get in trouble.
No. But no, if you peak in high school, you're good for 3 years. And then you have to ride out like fucking 50 years of misery, or 60.
Yeah,
but
because...
if you peak at 35, it's going to be a longer. You're going to be, you started peaking in your 30s and you're still there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's still hope for more to happen. I don't feel like I'm on the downslide yet, where it is a high school zenith. The rest of your life is trying to capture some glory that equals what you had when you were 18, which is just, I feel almost depressed for those guys when I see them now, how their lives are and how they can't wait for the reunion. And it's like, oh, fuck, I have zero interest in that.
Well, you know, it used to be a very much shorter life expectancy for human beings.
Right.
So 18 used to actually kind of be your peak of your life. And then, you know, you get in your 20s, you start getting, you know, syphilis and and bubonic plague and dying. So,
right.
So people really, you know, and kings and queens and like those people were all in their 20s, late teens, you know, back in history.
Right.
So now we're inventing. We are inventing how to live this long, and you know, to have any kind of life. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm boring right now.
No, you're not. It's actually it's interesting because it's not boring at all, because the high school peak years is something that a lot of people who are listening have either dealt with, or they didn't peak in high school, and it's like they feel like pieces of shit because they're 25 and they haven't done anything, and that just means you got something left to do. And as long as you're not doing drugs or just being a complete cunt, you have plenty of good things ahead of you.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So that's what you and I do. We take negative and we make a positive out of it, Lou. We take lemons and we make lemonade.
We take lemons, we make lemonade, we drink it, and then we piss on the face of some high school kids.
Yeah, of someone who's not peaking in high school. We just urinate on them and degrade them for being the zeros that we were.
Exactly.
Where are you now, brother? Where are you?
I'm just in traffic on the West Side Highway. I'm on my way home.
Oh, okay. You're going back out on the road. Oh, are you doing fucking O2 in London? You're doing the arena?
Yes, I am. I'm doing the O2 in London.
Congratulations, man. That's an amazing feat. That's a real arena show.
That's a big arena show. Yeah, I don't usually like playing big rooms, but I don't want to spend a long time in London, and I want to play for a lot of people. So I'm just getting it done.
Now, are you going to do arenas when you come back here? Are you kind of testing the waters on that to see how much you like it?
I don't know, man, because I like the rooms I'm playing in on this tour are all like, you know, most of them are about 2,500 seats.
Right.
And to me, that's plenty. I mean, I could have played Madison Square Garden this year, but I wanted to sell tickets myself.
Right.
And MSG uses Ticketmaster, so you don't have a choice there. So I played the City Center, and I did like 12 shows instead of like 2 at the Garden. But to me, when you go to see a comedian, you don't want to go up a big concrete ramp and have a big fucking cup with Carmelo Anthony on it, and, you know, and you're watching him on a jumbotron next to a guy wearing a Rangers jacket. That's not comedy to me.
Right. Then it feels like, hey, we're at this event and we're enjoying this event, but it does not have the intimacy or the connection of just a stand-up on stage in front of you.
That's what I think. So it's just a way for stand-ups to make a lot of money all at once. But Chris Rock played O2, and he told me it was really great, and that it can be intimate and feel like a real. So because O2 is more like, that's European arena, so that's like 12,000.
Right.
You know, MSG is like 20 or something like that. So.
Well, it's nice to know that you could do it, and you're choosing the other way. It's not like you couldn't do it, and you're just choosing, hey, I'd rather do 6 shows than 1 show just because they're going to be better shows.
Yeah, I don't mind doing more shows, and I'd rather have the shows go well. And the amount of I actually make more doing the more shows than the MSG. So, and then the fans pay less, and it's more fun.
It's so great that you did that, dude. You really, I mean, honestly, you really changed the way people are doing business, because the networks know now they don't have the final say in whether or not somebody does a special. You really fucking rolled the dice, and you changed the way people think about doing business, which is amazing that you did that.
Well, I don't know what it did for anybody else. I mean, I think that people still have to. You still have to be established to get like it's not a way to break out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like selling a special online isn't a way to get noticed. If you're nobody or, you know, lesser known, it's hard to get traction.
Right.
But the reason mine sold is because I've been doing this for 25 years. I have a show on TV, and mostly I think as I sell tickets on the road, it follows that trend more than it did anything from TV. So, but somebody who's just started, I mean, they shouldn't have a special anyway. So,
no, and if you're doing it 5 or 6 years, you shouldn't have a special, and you shouldn't have that kind of draw. But there's guys with big fan bases like yourself, and, you know, Aziz and Gaffigan and a few other guys. Yeah. It just takes a bit of fucking juice away from the networks, which is just really, really nice. And eventually, certain comedians may start putting younger comedians on their sites, which will just be another fuck you to the network. So whatever works, but I'm just so happy you did that.
Thanks. I saw your last one, Please Be Offended, and it's really fucking funny.
Oh, thank you, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hoping to do another one.
I'm going to go. Why are you going to do another one?
Just because I want to just do another special.
No, I know, but when?
Oh, when? I would like to do it this year. I would like to do it in April if I can. I would like to do it I'm ready to go now, but I would rather wait until April so it's a year.
Yeah, good.
I just want to make those people laugh, Lou. Spread a little joy. You know what I mean.
That's all that we all ever want to do.
All right, buddy. Take care.
See you, Jim.
Bye, Lou. I had no idea you rocked it. That was Louis C.K.
We thought you would have recognized the voice.
No, on the phone, it's weird. So I just thought it was a guy named. I almost told you to hang up on him because I thought it was a guy named Louis fucking with me.
It'd be great if you did.
I know, and I didn't know it was him, and I had to explain. Like, oh, sorry.
You said you want to do a special, hopefully around April.
I would love to. Yeah.
Is there any cities that you're looking at doing it?
I want to shoot. If I could shoot my next special, I want it to be in Boston.
Wilbur Theater.
Maybe the Wilbur, yeah, or I think Louis shot, and I think it was Constitution Hall. Okay. He shot one of his specials, and he recommended that to me. But there was some weird bureaucracy, which is why I didn't do it last time, and I went to Cleveland, which I enjoyed. Who's the next call?
The next one is a girl.
And I think Louis next time should call me for some advice, because I could help him as much as I could help everybody.
That is true.
That's right. I have an answer, Louis, if you're listening. It rhymes with mill yourself. Okay.
This is Diane in Long Island.
Hi, Diane.
Hi, Diane, honey.
Oh, hi. How are you?
You're adorable.
Thank you. You sound like Brenda Vaccaro. What's up, Diane?
I have a question for you.
Sure.
I've been married 15 years this May.
Okay.
He wants to play with my hiney hole.
Okay. It's good that you're using sexy terminology like that.
And I never let ever. And I want to know, is that right, or is he going to find somebody else to cheat on me?
Well, I mean, look, the bottom line is this. If your husband, after all, how many kids do you have?
None.
Oh, none. Okay. I was thinking maybe you had a few kids and your fucking vagina looked like horse lips and you couldn't feel anything anymore.
It's not a meaty one, baby.
Okay, well, maybe. Look, the fact that you're married 15 years and he wants to go down there and tease your hiney, I think you should let him lick it. Stop being self-conscious. What you do is you take a shower. You put your foot up on the end of the tub. You soap out your asshole with your finger, and then you let him go down there and eat it. And if he wants to put a finger in there, if it feels good, go with it. If you have to shit, just go, I have to shit, I have to shit, I have to shit. And he'll never...
the other part of it is he won't let me play with his.
Well, that's nice that you want to. Why won't he? Maybe he knows his ass is fucking oniony and horrible. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. Mine should be okay and his should not be.
All right. Basically, what you're saying is this: what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Exactly.
And I think you two should swap little sayings like that while you eat each other's asses in the 69 position. Let him do it, and then after he does it a couple of times, then maybe you try to sneak back there and give him a little pucker lick.
You think that'll work?
Yeah, I do. I think
my girl has never been invaded. It's an exit only.
All right, I know, but again, stop using dumb expressions like that. Like, he wants to lick my hiney. My girl's never been. This is not the Bob Hope show. You can say, I want my husband. He wants to eat my ass, and I've never had that. I only shit out of it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, baby.
Godspeed.
You too.
Bye.
Let's go to Las Vegas and talk to Frank. He has a relationship issue.
A relationship issue. Oh, Frank was better. What's happening in your relationship, Frank? Is Tony trying to fuck her on the dance floor? And he's going, you're like a tiger. All right, sorry, Scarface. Go. That got what it deserved. Dead silence. Wow, he fucking shot himself. Tony, are you there?
Frank.
Oh, Frank.
And he hung up.
All right.
He wanted. He was asking. He wanted.
No.
You
don't help him, E-Rock. No, he wants to hang up after my great fucking Scarface improv.
All right.
Hey, I should shoot the catcher if he hasn't gotten a base hit all year. Who's next?
Let's go to Jeff in Indiana. He's having a panic attack.
Oh, God, Jeff. Let's see. What are you doing, Jeff? He's got a hood on right now, and he's in a black neighborhood panicking, talking under his hood on the phone. What are you doing?
I'm laying on a couch.
Okay, buddy. Why are you panicking?
I'm trying to get to a point in my life where I can confess. I'm not Catholic, but I am going back home this weekend to my original church. So things are pretty fucked up for me right now.
Okay.
And I'm really scared to say all the shit that I need to say to make things better.
Well, what's fucked up with you? In a nutshell, a brief synopsis.
I should accomplish a lot more than I have. I developed a bit of a drinking problem.
Okay.
I am working on making things better.
Okay, let me ask you, how old are you?
I am 29.
Okay, so 29, you have many, as Louis and I were just saying, there's plenty of years ahead of you. And if you have a drinking problem, there are ways to address that. You can go, there's 12-step fellowships and programs. So this is not a problem that's insurmountable. So what is so scary that you have to say? What do you have to say? To me, it sounds like you need to do something.
I'm just afraid of admitting failure. I failed for the first part. I want to work on making better. I've got some books that I'm reading. By the way, that Lewis guy sounds pretty funny.
Yes, he is, but he's a real twat of a man. I know him. Okay. I'm on Facebook with him.
Yes, but no, I'm terrified of admitting my own failure.
Well, you did just admit it. So admitting is not the problem. What you're scared of, I think, is doing something about it. Because admitting something is easy to a certain degree. I mean, it's not easy. It's the first step. But doing something about it is hard because now you have to accept it and you have to act on it. And the way to act on it is to maybe look up a 12-step program. Confession is nice, but that's only a partial action. That's just another form of admitting it.
Right.
I would suggest going to a meeting of some sort and begin thinking about really quitting your drinking. That, to me, is the first thing, and nothing will get accomplished until you do that.
Well, I appreciate your help. Thank you, Jimmy.
All right, buddy. Don't just lay there and fucking wither on the vine. You got a lot of years left.
All right, let's go to Sandy in Texas.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi, Jimmy. I have a relationship issue.
Sure.
I have been with this guy for 8 months, and we both love each other immensely. But the problem is we have little communication. There's no trust. He's a drunk.
Who you dating? The guy that just called from the couch?
No, sounds like it though. But I've been supporting him for the last 8 months.
So what's so great? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but he's a drunk. Now you probably knew that very early on. Is your father an alcoholic?
No, he was not.
No, your mother either, huh?
No.
It's weird that somebody so you're knowingly dating an alcoholic for what reason?
I've been kind of wondering that myself, because it's never been something that, my ex-husband, I was with him for 20 years, and he was an alcoholic, but he was in Alcoholics Anonymous. He had over 30 years.
Oh, okay.
So
are you just kind of settling because you were married for 20 years and now you're back in the game and you find a guy that maybe is good looking or treated you nice a little bit, so you're kind of settling for something that you shouldn't just because you're happy he's showing up?
Well, that may be. Because he's a good-looking guy. He had treated me great within the last month, and then it's kind of like after that, things kind of went sour. And we, if he's mad at me or whatever, then he withholds sex, and the sex has been not loving. It's just been basically get the job done, just bend over, fuck me, and that's the end of it.
Okay.
So I'm feeling like I'm being used. I feel like I'm a wormhole in a checkbook.
Okay, that's a great singles ad. Wormhole checkbook, seeking friend. Look, if you're feeling that way, you're probably right. So I think the thing to do would be to end that relationship, unless he decides to get sober. Maybe say, look, if you don't get sober or try to, I'm gonna have to, as we like to say, shuffle off to Buffalo, and then put your arms out in the shuffle thing, because it'll give him like a visual.
Well, I don't foresee him ever becoming sober. He's got a lot of physical pain, and he can't take medication, so he kind of substitutes it with alcohol.
Okay, well, he's got an excuse. He can quit drinking. He's not drinking just because it's a medical necessity. If he's an alcoholic, he wants to continue drinking, he's going to continue drinking. I would just suggest getting out of it because, if it's 8 months in, you're already saying this. What do you think, 5 years is going to be good? It's going to be terrible.
That's true, yeah. So All right. Well, how do I do it without breaking his heart? Because he's always saying he's how in love with me.
Who cares? I don't mean that to be cold, but he doesn't care how you feel when he's withholding sex or when he's just jamming it in your hole or getting his bills paid. All of a sudden you're worried how he's going to feel?
Good point, Jimmy.
Yeah, why doesn't he worry about how you're going to feel when he's fucking having you pay his bills or when he's just jamming his pecker into your hot pocket?
All right.
All right?
Well spoken. Thank you very much, Jimmy. I love you.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Thanks.
Let's go to line 9. This is Mike in Vegas.
All right, Mike in Vegas. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I like E-Rock when he says what line it's on because that really gets people involved in the show.
Well,
Yes, line 9. What's up?
Hi. Essentially, I want to I want to watch my girl fuck another man in front of me.
Well, welcome to the club.
Well, I can't quite get her to do it. I've tried to talk to her about it. One time she was kind of okay with the idea, and then she suddenly pulled back and was like, no, I'm not okay. And that has put a real stale on the old relationship.
Well, let me ask you, how long you been with her?
7 years.
Okay, 7 years. Have you always had these fantasies about girls, or is it just with her, and has it started recently or since the beginning?
Yeah, since the beginning with her, I've been I wanted to watch it. But she's one of those good girls I want to kind of get to see these kind of things. Like, she's a Catholic schoolgirl. She comes from a well-to-do family. She's only had one boyfriend, real relationship, a.k.a. me, and I'm her first fuck.
You don't want to do it. Oh, you're her first fuck. Now, you don't want to do it just to feel bad about it and sabotage the relationship, do you?
No, not at all.
Maybe you could do something like this. Maybe you guys could anonymously put ads on Craigslist with like a picture of her body or whatever, and you could put ads out for the kind of guy you'd like to see fucking her. And then maybe you can read the responses. You get a separate Gmail account or whatever, anonymously, and you two could fuck while reading these responses and looking at the photos and see how she feels about that. And then maybe talk to a few of them on the phone while you're fucking her. Block your number and call those guys. Most guys like that, I guess, would give you the number. Why don't you ease into it like that? And then maybe bring a guy over and she'll suck his dick in front of you. Like, don't make her commit to fucking the guy. Or say you want a guy just to watch you two fuck her. Ease into it by slowly bringing another guy in. So if all of a sudden she goes, I want to back out, she's backing out of only a little bit as opposed to having gotten fucked by another guy.
That's pretty smart. I guess I tried to go for the whole golden egg instead of just kind of building my way up.
Yeah, just work your way up a little bit. It's a big step for her. She doesn't know how she's going to feel. She doesn't know how you're going to feel. And have you done that before?
Yeah, well, I've,
with different chicks?
I've watched like an ex-girlfriend. Yeah, like an ex-girlfriend. And I thought that was cool. But, that relationship only went bad because there was a whole bunch of drama with family. But, I thought that was great when I watched. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, it can be very hot. I mean, I would just suggest that, though. Ease into it. Do an anonymous singles ad. See what kind of guy she likes. Do more dirty talking about it. And so it's not just your fetish. Find out what she may want to fuck a black guy. She may want a Puerto Rican. She may want something she hasn't told you. So see how she responds to different photos. And if it does anything for her, and maybe you'll get her more invested by doing that.
I could try. I mean, like I said, she's Catholic girl all the way. Catholic school from kindergarten up to college.
Right.
So give me a rough road. Speaking of Puerto Ricans, I am one.
Oh, okay. So maybe she wants to fuck another guy who's working or whatever. I'm kidding, sir. All right. Good luck to you. Hi, Joe.
All right. Thank you, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Joe DeRosa just came in. We have how much time we have left?
I think we've got about 3 minutes.
Okay, let's do it. We're doing it.
This too.
I know. I have a read. We're doing advice calls.
I'm sorry.
I'm saving lives.
I just want to say hi.
Hi. Who's next to E-Rock that needs their life saved? I'm helping a lot of people here, Joe. So today on the show, we've had Louis C.K. and Joe DeRosa. I would say this has been a good show so far.
Let's talk to Pat in New Jersey. He feels like a complete failure in life.
Oh, hi, Pat.
Hey, Jim. Good morning. How are you, buddy?
Welcome to the Opie and Anthony channel, the Jim Norton Show.
Well, I'm glad to be on. Listen, I called on a whim because I just feel...
Don't say whim. Whim sounds silly and old-fashioned. Say I called on a lark. Lark is a better word. Go ahead, sir. You call on a whim and...
Yeah, and I'm 27 years old. I once in my life had a promising career as an intern on the Opie and Anthony show. I then got fired from that, and then nothing since then has gone right at all. I can't get any job I want. I tried. My relationship is pretty much shit at this point. I'm almost at my wit's end. I don't know what to do.
Well, I was going to turn this one over to DeRosa, but now I'm realizing this is Pat Duffy, who is a great, probably might be our best intern ever, and he's a buddy. So, Pat, I'll say this in seriousness because I like you very much. You're a talented, funny guy. Are you drinking? Are you doing something you shouldn't be doing?
No, I don't drink any more than a normal person would. I mean, I smoke a little pot, but nothing that would get in the way of anything.
Well, what is it that you really want to do that you're not doing?
As far as life goes,
yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't want a shitty normal job. I want a job that makes me happy. Like right now, I'm a fucking janitor.
Okay.
Like it's the most demeaning possible thing. Like I have to work at night. I've applied to 5,000 radio stations. I've applied to all kinds of things. Nothing works. Like nothing has gone right since the day I left that show. Well,
it's a very tough industry to get into now for everybody, just because of the way regular radio has, gotten so sports radio oriented. You know what I mean? It's like, Eastside Dave is a great, talented, crazy guy, and he's kind of just doing a sports show, and it's really hard to get into now because the culture, they're all so afraid of lawsuits. Any type of craziness now is kind of discouraged.
Right, and I wanted to do a podcast. I've spoken with Eric about doing a podcast and things like that, and it's like every time I try to get something together, then I can't afford a $300 mixer or a $500 computer to make this all work. Like, I'm pretty much, at the point where I'm still dirt poor, even as poor as I was when I was on the show. And it's like I can't get the proper equipment together in order to record something, in order to make, if I could record something to where I could have a podcast or do anything like that, it would definitely have some kind of ray of hope into my life. And I can't get that done, and it just makes it miserable, and it's just a complete cycle of misery.
Well, Pat, I will say this, maybe podcast is a great way to go. We have to wrap up because we're running out of show. I wish I would have known you were on the line. I would have taken you a lot sooner. Eric didn't know either. But I will say this, maybe Bob Kelly has a podcast, and he knows about that podcast network. Maybe you and him could communicate somehow, and he could give you some suggestions. Could you leave your number with Sal offline?
I have his number.
E-Rock's got your number. And maybe you and Bobby can connect, because Bobby is qualified to talk to you about this because he knows this world really well.
Okay. And I'd also like to maybe get in touch with you just for some pointers about a couple things, too.
Okay. Well, I will leave you. A-Rock's got your information, and so you and I can certainly talk off the air.
All right, I appreciate it, Jim. I'm sorry to call so late. I just didn't know.
That's okay, and hang in there. You're a good man, Pat, and you're a funny guy, and you're a talented guy, and you have a lot of dedication to whatever it is you're doing. So don't give up, man. That would be a tremendous tragedy.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Okay, buddy. And Joe, I was going to turn that one over to you as a guest that just kind of popped in, but Pat's you don't know Pat, but he was a good dude who worked for us for a while.
Yeah, I'm sorry that he's having a tough go.
Fuck him. All right. I'm kidding, Pat. I actually think what I was going to say to Pat is because here's the inside scoop, Pat, on Steven Singer and Steven Singer Jewelers. Steven's a genius. Like Pat's a genius at doing crazy radio shit. Steven's a genius when it comes to helping you select the right gift for that special someone. So Pat, maybe you're having some relationship troubles. Maybe you've put on brass knuckles and you've clocked your girl on the jaw. You've messed up with Christmas gifts. Pat's a wild guy. Maybe his girlfriend wanted a piece of jewelry, and Pat shit in a hat box and gave it to her. And she opened it and said, "What is this?" And Pat went, "Huh?" And she didn't get it. If so, look, Pat, not to worry. Steven's going to guarantee that you hit a home run for Valentine's Day. This is how you save your relationship. Steven's got the perfect gift for Valentine's Day and only starts at $69. Now, I know you don't have $300 for podcast equipment. Fuck podcast equipment. $70. And you get $1 back to help your fucking Valentine's gift. Pat, it's a long stem rose dipped in 24 karat pure gold. These roses, Pat, they last forever. Long after you hang yourself, she's still going to have this beautiful gift. and you'll get credit for it for a lifetime. Every time you feel depressed, every time she says, Pat, you're not doing anything. Pat, you're not fucking me right. Pat, you're losing your erections. You can point at that gold rose and say, look at that thing, cunt. That's still standing tall. And she'll go, you're right, Pat. And I remember the day you delivered it to me in your anus. I apologize. Look, why talk about Valentine's Day so soon? That's what people are saying. That's what Pat Duffy's saying right now.
Yeah.
He says, Jim, why are you talking about Valentine's Day so soon? Here's why, Pat, because Steven Singer sells out of these roses every year. He makes 3. He's a dummy. And he wants to make sure that you, and I mean you, Patrick Duffy, get the first shot at ordering his brand new hot pink Love Rose. Limited qualities are available, of course. That's the way the iPhone, the iPod, the iPad, all this great shit, limited stuff. It gets people interested. Reserve yours today. Steven makes it very, very easy. You go online to IHateStevenSinger.com. Click on the real long stem rose. Like, what else would you click on that site looking for a rose? You choose your color, and you have it shipped to your door for free in a beautiful gold foil gift box. Each rose comes with your own personalized message. So maybe you could go, look, this is Pat. I love you. I can't take it anymore. So I want you to remember me forever by this. And she'll find it under your swinging feet. I'm kidding, of course, Pat. I love you. This is a gift you can trust and a guy you can trust. Steven Singer. Visit him in Philadelphia at the other corner of 8th and Walnut. Call 1-888 IHateStevenSinger.com or IHateStevenSinger.com on the phone. I'm a cunt and a half. Call 1-888-I-HATE-STEVEN-SINGER or online, IHateStevenSinger.com. Joe, do you have any plugs before we go? Are you doing a gig or something?
I literally was walking by. I just wanted to come and say hi.
All right, next time come in a little bit earlier so we can enjoy hanging with you.
I was across the hall, and I wanted to say hello. I saw a couple of pals in the room, and
yes.
It's one of those things.
Well, I didn't know you were here today. We have to go because of the replay. I'm in Zany's in Nashville, and thank you to Louis C.K. I didn't know Louis called in, and I was just taking him as a real call. This cunt calls in, and there's a cunt on the phone going, hey, I called in, I got right through to you. I'm like, all right, you're fucking with me. But he just kept going, and I'm like, what is this guy? He's just insulting me. And fucking E-Rock goes, it's Louis C.K. I'm like, oh, I didn't get it. And then we had a very lovely chat about high school. So thank you to Louis, of course. Call in anytime, and that's it, right?
Ron and Fez next.
Ron and Fez next. You're welcome, people.